guys, Denzaka here, and welcome to what is hopefully going to be a series of 1 to 100 in Palace of the Dead. I've not done a video for a while on FFXIV because I've not played it for a while, and I thought I'd get back into recording videos by doing this, and then hopefully we can go from there. So I'm going to do this as Astrologian. I wanted to do it as Dragoon. My Dragoon is currently at level 61, but I've been advised if I want to do Palace of the Dead, it might be best to go with something that can heal. So I'm going to take my Astrologian instead, just for the bosses really. I think that's the part that would be more difficult with just a DPS. So this set of videos is just going to be, there's going to be no edits or cuts, it's just going to be a let's play basically. So I need to reset my progress here. My main goal really is to unlock Palace of the Dead 100 to 200. I'm doing it with this party here with my FC at the moment, but it'd be great if I could do it on my own, and I think you get an achievement for doing it solo as well, so... Oh, I didn't realise it was part 2. There we go. So, fixed party, yes. Yes, I want to enter alone, and we'll start at floor 1. Mainly because, obviously, I want to get all the items as well. If I start at floor 51, I'm not going to have any items, which will be needed later on. So, really, the first few floors, the first 50 floors, I'm going to try and not use any items, although I may use succubus items, the lust pomander on the bosses, and obviously things that get me more chests I'm going to use, because that makes sense. So you see my bar is set up for parties. I'm not going to change that. So I have on the left trigger, I have all my... Yay, gain a level. On my left trigger I have all the DPS stuff, and on the right trigger I have all the healing stuff, and then we have double clicks for things as well. In fact, I should probably protect myself. So I'm going to try and get... Oh, wonderful. I'm going to try and get as many chests as possible. And plus it gets my level up as well, so that helps. Hopefully the videos won't be too long. I'm going to split the videos into... Oh god. How long have we got left? 12 seconds. I can auto attack, can't I? I'm going to split the videos into 10 floors at a time, so this should hopefully not last too long. Come on, there we go. These floors are going to be very boring though, because I've got no cards or things like that. So it's literally just healing and DPS, no things I can do, no funky things I can do with my abilities and stuff. I mean, once I get the cards as well, that's going to make it a lot easier to do bosses as well, because I can save my, you know, like my strength up abilities and stuff from my cards and boost them. And if I'm clearing out all the rooms as well, then I'm definitely going to have enough time to not only find a balance card to save, but also find a balance or a bold card to strengthen that to 150% as well. So far so good. This floor is easy. I don't think it's going to stay that way though. I imagine floors 1 to 30 are going to be easy enough, and then they might start getting difficult. The bosses are the only thing I'm really worried about, to be honest. And obviously it's just going to take a little bit longer because I'm a healer. I could be combusting these guys, but I don't see there's a point at the moment. Oop. How come I can't target that? It must have been behind a rock. So I'm looking for feedback as well when I do this. When I've recorded videos in the past, the only videos that ever... My Final Fantasy XIV videos were my popular ones, but the only ones that got popular were my tutorials. And I've always wanted to do Let's Play style videos. and this being one of them. But I've never really been able to do one that gets views, so maybe that's like how interested I am talking. Maybe I have to get used to that, because you play games silently, so to actually just start talking to yourself while playing is another thing entirely. So maybe I just need to get used to talking to myself while playing. But if you're watching this, maybe leave me a comment and let me know how you think I'm doing, and we'll go from there. If it works out and people enjoy this content, then I will start doing Let's Plays of a kind. I'm not going to obviously do Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play, but I'll do things like this where I solo instances and stuff. I don't know why I'm checking those chests, because it's very unlikely that I'm going to get a level up. Oh, I should show you, by the way, if you didn't see it at the start, I'm at plus 19, plus 91. So it should be fine, and later on I might get some level ups. There is a small percentage chance that you can get a level up. I've got plus levels on these before. So what I might do, just to continue talking while I'm playing, sight, that will be helpful later on, to protect me from traps, is I'll go through how Palace of the Dead works. I'm sure everyone knows now. I mean, I stopped playing the game in 2.x. At the time of recording, we're in 4.0, well, 4.05. And Palace of the Dead, as far as I know, was released during the Heavensward time. So I'm sure people know what Palace of the Dead is, but I'll explain it anyway for those of you who don't. So Palace of the Dead is a set of, it's called Deep Dungeon. I'm not sure what that means, but basically it's a separate area of the game where you have, like, it's got its own leveling system. So as you can see, I'm actually level 50 Astrologian, but in here I'm level 6. And the experience you get from killing mobs in here, it doesn't actually add to your class. What happens is you get a set amount of experience when you end. And so the main mechanic to progress floors is there's a set amount of enemies you need to kill on each floor to unlock the next floor, and that's I think it's the Carnive Passage. Oh, wonderful! It's the Carnive Passage, and there's a returning passage indicated by the key and the kind of leaf sign at the top right. So you need to, if you were just to rush through, what you need to do basically is just kill enough mobs to unlock the Carnive Passage, and then move on. But because I'm on my own, I'm going to do the other thing, which is collect chests. So there's 4 types of chests. The main chest I'll come across, and as you'll see here next to me, is the red and gold chest. They drop Pommanders, and Pommanders are special items that you can use inside Palace of the Dead, and they all have different effects. So at the moment I've got Safety, which shows, it removes all traps in the area. You've seen me step over a few traps already. Sight shows me the whole map of the area, but it also shows the traps on the floor. Strength, obviously, put your strength up. Steel, puts your defense up. And Witching turns all enemies into smaller enemies, basically. It turns them into, like, frogs and stuff. So they can't attack you. Well, they can attack you, but they can't do skills, and obviously they attack a lot lighter. I just heard something spawn. Yeah. So the Pomander of Witching is really helpful if there's a room full of enemies, or if you do a luring trap to help yourself reduce your damage taken. Now I just picked up an Intuition, so I'm going to use that. So this is a good, oh, there we go. So this is a good way of explaining how Intuition Commanders work, and also the next chest I want to talk about. So in Palace of the Dead there is the Accursed Horde. As you can see, actually you won't be able to see it in the chat log, there we covered up. So basically, in your chat log, when you use a Pomander of Intuition, it will tell you whether there is an accursed horde on the floor that you're on. And luckily enough, there is on this floor. So when you use the intuition, if there's no horde on the floor, it'll just say you do not sense the horde on this floor. And then when you go to the next floor, the effect will still be there, and it'll be there until you find a horde. Hordes can be found without using the commander of intuition, but very hard because you've got to stand on it for a couple of seconds to get it to actually spawn the chest. So you have to be really lucky. But all the intuition commander does is make them visible with this. So if I now stand on here for a couple of seconds, it will spawn the banded coffer. There we go. And then that gives you a piece of accursed horde. Floors 1 to 50 give you bronze pieces, I believe. I won't tell you till you get out. Bronze pieces. 51 to 100 give you iron, and then I think above that is gold, but it might go silver gold. I've never been there before. And basically, you trade those to an NPC outside of the Palace of the Dead, and it gives you random items. It can give you armor, mostly glam pieces. It can give you minions, and it can give you materia and fireworks and stuff. But you can get some pretty good minions from it. I got, well, I've got twice now, page 56 I believe it's called. It's basically a little buck minion. I've got that twice, and it's about 60k in my server, so it's not a massive amount of gil. But it's still good, it's better than buying it. And I had, with that party I showed you earlier, I had someone find a Oppo out of that, the baby Oppo. And when I last played, they were worth $1 million or something, because they were a rare drop. They might not be now. So yeah, that's the first two chests. The next chest is, well, that's perfect, because this is the one I was going to talk about. A blue and silver chest. I call it the blue chest because it's more blue than silver, but everyone else calls them silver chests. What these do is level up your Aether Pool arm and armor. Another factor of the Palace of the Dead is that anything you take in, so your weapon and your armor and stuff, they don't count. The only thing that counts in here is your Aether Pool arm and your Aether Pool armor. So if this is +1 and +1, you're going to be very weak and you're going to be very squishy. And the more this goes up, the stronger you are, and the more defense you've got. So the blue chests or the silver chests have a chance of giving you a +1 to those numbers. If you're just starting out, then every chest should be giving you a +1 until you reach a certain level, and then it'll be a small chance then. And then the higher your level is, the smaller the chance is to actually get another +1 in the area. So because I'm on floors 1 to 10 and my Aether Pools are at 90 and 91, it's going to be very hard to actually get anything from it. But later on, let's say I'm on floor 91, there's a higher chance of me actually getting a +1 from a silver chest. The final chest is the bronze or green chest. That just gives you potions, which will be really helpful if you solo in like this and you don't have a healing class. But also in floors 51 plus, oh, I really should have stopped casting them. 51 plus, it also gives you a chance of getting potsherds, which are another item you can trade when you get out of the palace, to give you minions and mounts, and I think materia as well. I'm not sure. I just use it for minions and mounts. So we're on floor 4 at the moment, so we're nearly halfway there. Still not got any interesting skills here. Here, strength. Have we got anything new to talk about? No, we've had all those before. So you have the chests. Like I said, you have to kill a certain amount of enemies to progress, and it's an alternate leveler system. It caps at 60, so you can't go higher than 60. And if you enter at floor 51, once you've done 1 to 50, You can enter at 51 whenever you want. I imagine that's the same with 100 as well. So you'll never have to enter here at 1 again if you didn't want to. And when you enter at 51, you start at level 60, you don't have to level up again. So the only reason, like I said, I'm doing 1 to 51 again is so I can grab these items. These items stack in 3s. So I've got 2 strengths, so once I get 3 I won't be able to pick another one up. So then I can just start using them. Oh, see, that was a trap there. If I had the sight on, you'd be able to see it on the floor. So that's basically it. You just go around, kill mobs, pick up chests, avoid traps if possible, and you progress onto the next floor once you've killed enough enemies. Lust. Well, that's good because I can use that for the boss. The only thing about the lower level areas is just boring because you don't have a lot of skills. I might start using the Commander of Strength just to speed things up a little bit, because they're really common anyway. But a good technique might be just to use them when I get them, like when I get over 3. Because I'm not struggling right now. It's just taking its time. Obviously, each floor I go up, the enemies get a little bit stronger. So that's another reason for me to find as many mobs as possible. Is so I can actually be strong enough to fight the enemies. Innovation is a bad one to have when you're soloing because that makes me weaker, and it also drops my defense, so it'll take longer to kill the enemies. It's no biggie though on these floors. It might be dangerous later on, but there we go. The blue chests as well, they also have a chance of blowing up on you, which is very dangerous if you're around loads of mobs, so you should always clear mobs around the areas around the blue chest before you actually open it, just in case it blows up. I'm still under the effect of innovation at the moment, so... the only other thing is, well, I've not talked about the bosses, and I've also not talked about the Khan of Return. So the Khan of Return, if you lose party members, you can use the Khan of Return to raid your party members. Simple as that, really. You just go to it and press it, if it's glowing, obviously. And you can raise any fallen enemies, fallen party members, and it only counts as a wipe as well. There are achievements for clearing the whole area's fixed parties with no deaths. What it means by no deaths is the full party wipe, so people can die and you can still get the achievement. I'm hoping that's the case for me. There is a commander around here somewhere, which is Commander of Raising, and it's if you die, it auto raises you. So I'm hoping that counts for no deaths, because it won't be a wipe if it doesn't kick me out, if it auto raises me. So I am hoping on that one. I'm going to have to start using Combust now to help me out. The only problem about Combust, even though it's an instant cast, it doesn't seem to... It's on the global cooldown still, so it'll... I'll show you what I mean in a minute. It counts down. So if I use Malefic and then Combust straight after, it will go instantly, but then I have to wait for the next Malefic. That was a tough one. Oh, I've not got any Regen yet. Regen. I call it Regen. I called it Regen all the way through my childhood because obviously Final Fantasy games didn't have voice acting when I was a kid. So you just call things what you read them as, and I used to call it raging. So as an adult now, even though I know it means regenerate and it's regen, I always call it raging for some reason. Interrupted? I don't remember moving. Essential dignity. Well, that's helpful. For those of you who don't know Astrologian, Essential Dignity is a one-off heal spell. It does that. And if you're below 50%, it does 200. If you're below 50% health, it does 200% of the actual original heal. So it's 400. But if it's below, if the HP of the person you're healing is below 50%, then it doubles. Go on then, I'll kill this. So nice and easy so far, but it's going to get harder. I think 1 to 50 is going to be easy to compare, but after that it's going to get really difficult, I believe. I'd be really interested to see how good my AoE is. It's an AoE at level 52, I believe. Gravity. So I wonder what that... It does 100% potency to the first enemy, obviously, and then it does something like 50 to... It does 10% less than the next one, 20% less than the next one, 30% less than the next one. So I'd be interested in how effective it is to use it on a group, on my own. It might be dangerous, because obviously if I do it on a group, I've got a group of enemies hitting me. So it might be dangerous doing it that way. I don't need to kill these enemies, but it's going to give me a level up, so... All helps for the boss later on. I keep forgetting to combust. I'm not sure how much the combust helps, to be honest. It's doing 30 a tick there. And I'm doing 114, so it's probably not helping that much, to be fair. In the time it takes me to reload my Malefic, you know, wait for the global cooldown, I could have done another Malefic anyway, instead of the combust. But I'll keep it there anyway. Haste granted. Wonderful. Commander of Sight. So that's good. I got 3 Commanders of Sight, so I can use so I'm capped on all of these now: Safety, Sight, Strength, and Steel. So any more that I find, I can use straight away. Whether they're helpful or not at the time, I can use them. I guess I could use Combust to pull enemies. Like, for instance, if there's a big group of enemies in the room, I can use Combust to pull them over, and then I can use Malefic. So that might be a way of getting the dot on. So you get a lot of potions playing this as well, which is real. I've got 99 max there, for instance, which is really useful if you're doing this as a DPS, which is what I was going to do it as originally. I was going to do it as Dragoon, but I want to try my first time out as a healer. So the passage is activated, but I want to get some more levels just in case. This guy's a bit tough. Oh, see, there's a luring trap, so what you can do here is use a witching. Ah, I missed one. So I'll kill that one first. So, in a group, if you go in with obviously 4 people, witchings are really useful for when you go into a room where there's tons of enemies. so that you can just AoE them down really quickly. But here, oh god, final sting. But when I'm on my own, the witching is very helpful if I step on a luring trap by accident. For doing what you just saw. Ah, here's a bronze and green chest. I think it's green, it might be black. Actually, I think it's black. That usually just gives you items. So I'm going to move on a floor now because I could go... Actually, you know what? Quickly run to the next room because it might have a chest in it. I'm going to say I can move on because there's probably only 3 enemies in there anyway, and I've just got the X for 3 enemies. Another tip when you're doing this, by the way, is you can hug the walls. Traps are usually around the centre areas. That's not always the case, but they are usually in centre areas. So if you want to avoid traps, you can go around the outside. The only chest that was in that room then was a bronze one. I don't need those. Floor 1 to 50, you never get the pot sherds. Or I've not seen them anyway. I've only seen them 50 plus, so... Floor 8. I got my witching back as well, so that's good. I don't plan on standing any more traps, but you can never see them, so... Having a witching to hand is always helpful. I don't remember potions dropping from mobs when I was in a party, so maybe potions drop if you're solo. Take that debuff off. The debuffs never really seem like an issue until you're on your own. And you're a squishy mage. Strength. There we go. So that puts your healing potency up and your strength up. So, should be a little bit quicker now. And I believe I picked up a Lust, didn't I? Lust will be very useful for the boss. Because what you can do when you start a boss fight, you go into Lust form, attack it 5 times, and it puts its vulnerability up. Makes the fight a lot easier. I don't need the kind of return, I need the kind of passage. That's already done. I got fortune there, but I'm going to save it for the next floor because this looks like the final room. All the rooms are random, so you'll have a different layout every time you come into Palace of the Dead. I wasn't aware these did final sting, so... Something to watch out for. Yeah, this is the last room here. The other item I'm not going to save is Rage, Commander of Rage. Although they may be useful, I may get a stack of 3 to begin with, because they may be useful in the final floors. I think they only start dropping 51 plus anyway. But they let you one-hit enemies. Magic and Mend. actually get any skills for that level. Blinded. Okay, well I don't need to see. Cast spells, so that's fine. You can get a Serenities, which are in this slot here. They remove any enfeeblements that are on the areas. Really helpful for Gloom, because Gloom puts enemies' attack up. Stop poisoning me. Oh, hello. This will get a lot faster after level 30 and I can start using cards. Because most of them will be helpful to speed things up. There's only two that won't speed things up, and that's the Bowl, which is just defense up, and can't remember the name of the TP one, but there's one that does TP regeneration, which obviously is useless to me. It's just bronze chest behind me, which is useless to me. The red chest. What's that one? Strength again. May as well pop it. It puts my time back up to 8 minutes. Innovation. Probably the worst one to get apart from Frog when you're on your own. That and Silence, because I'm a mage. I also didn't know there was a time limit. Because obviously when you're in a group of people you don't really take that long to do it. I wonder if this innovation puts my attack down as well. I think it does. Damage dealt reduce, yeah. That's why these are taking a little bit longer. It'll run out by the time I go to the boss though, so that's alright. Last one, and then we can go. Although it's not going to get me the level, so... what's that one? Safety. Oh, don't need that. I say that, and then I'll walk over a toad or something. Right, time to go for the boss. Oh, I should have just stayed in. The fight doesn't start until you actually move in. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a defense commander. I'm also going to use a lust to weaken the boss. I don't need to use a strength one this time because I've already got one in effect. So we'll start off like this. And we'll put, if you watch his debuffs, he'll get vulnerability up, and you can stack that 5 times. Oop. And then I'll go into my healer. Oh, stop with the AoEs. Ugh. AoEs are not good for spellcasters. Yeah, this is easy enough. Oops. I tried to regen myself then, but I've not unlocked that skill yet. There we go, that's floor 1 to 10 complete. And that's where we're going to leave it for today. I will continue in the next episode with floors 11 to 20. So thanks for watching. Please leave your thoughts on this below. really help me out. And if you did enjoy it, leave me a like also to let me know. And I will see you next time.